Why, hello there. So this time I get to talk to you specifically. Those of you watching online, welcome. I'm so grateful that you are choosing. Again, it is a choice whether we want to be healed. Just like in the Bible story of the man who was paralyzed, Jesus told him to take up his mat and go, you are healed. There always has to be an action in order to receive your own healing. We can't just lay there helpless, a victim mentality. We have to create action. We have to be moving. Faith isn't just a stagnant thing. Yes, God doesn't call on us to just seek productivity in order for us to be given mercy or grace. He loves us regardless. But do you want to be healed? So I'm just going to pray over the session today and allow yourself to sink down low into yourselves. Again, you are here. You are being an active part of your healing, and I am so grateful that you are. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for those that are signing in to learn, to start changing the cycles that they have been living in, to start breaking free of being captive to the lies that play in their head, to actively change the script, because God, you have called them here and they are showing up. And God, I just pray that you bless them through the movement, through their breath. Allow them to be grateful for this beautiful vessel that you've provided for us. I just, again, Lord, just ask your helm of protection over each and every individual signing on and part of this space. You are so good and you are within us. Thank you for all you've provided. In your powerful name. Amen. All right. So, breastplate of righteousness. God has given us this piece of armor to protect our hearts because it's such a vulnerable space. The enemy tries to get in there and dictate how we feel to distract us. So, time to put on our breastplate, open our heart posture to God, and allow ourselves to stand tall in the posture and confidence our Lord and Savior has given us. So, our starting sequence, our nice inchworm flow, so big breath in, reaching up to the heavens. And on that exhale, folding forward, tucking the chin, rolling down the spine, and gripping onto the floor with your fingers. Just about 2 steps each arm, so our hips are still quite piked up in the air, and we're going to walk one calf out at a time. Breathing in, shifting on over. Breathing in, nice and slow, bringing that heel to the floor. After the 3 each side, we're going to walk ourselves up to our high plank position. So ain't no shame in the knee game. If you feel like you can't get a strong retraction in your shoulders because your arms are wiggling to hold your body weight, come down to your knees. Keeping nice straight arms, we're going to squeeze between our shoulder blades. So notice that I'm not shrugging up to my neck. I'm keeping nice and braced into that armpit muscle, our own personal angel wings. And we are squeezing our shoulder blades together. If you feel a pull in the front of the delts, that's often because that rounded posture is getting pulled back into a new sequence of movement. So it will stretch in the parts that are used to being contracted and rounded. Let's do one more. Big breath in through the nose, squeezing in the mid-upper back, and exhale, pushing away. Hiking our hips back up, and again, if you want to keep on your knees, that's totally fine. This is your workout. If you get 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes in of movement rather than the hour, you're still getting more than that. So, way to go. On that breath in, reaching the leg up, and then to the outside of our hands. Allow yourself to sink really nice and low into that runner's lunge. On the exhale, we are going to rotate our bodies up, looking towards that hand. Really open up the chest. Breathing in, both hands down, bracing through that mid-upper spine, and exhale, opening up. Both hands down. We're going to bring both feet together, hips piked up. Breathing in, reach up the leg, and then to the outside of your hands. Again, sink down nice and low in that runner stretch, align the spine. So we don't want to start here on the upper body rotation, we want to start here. Our shoulders are away from our ears, my core is engaged, and exhale, twist in. Following that top hand with the eyes. Big breath in, both hands down, and rotate to that opposite side. And if you can, actively push your arm into the knee. That's going to get significantly more stretch in the hips as well as the groin. Excellent. Both hands down, feet together, and slowly walking up to a standing. Soft on your knees, bow the head, and roll up through the spine. All right, very nice. So we're going to do a little bit of mobility, opening up our pecs. Yes, God has given us that breastplate of righteousness, but we do not need to hold our frame like this. Pulling ourselves up, again, for alignment from our feet all the way up. And holding ourselves proud, because God sent you in the spaces that He sent you to. So we need to be open, we need to be present. When we're in a posture like this, we're constantly in a space of protection. God is our ultimate protector, and He is with us wherever we are going, especially when we go there in His name. All right, so chest opening. I'm going to get you to lay on your side, knees together, and bend the knees so your heels line up with your spine. Your hands are going to be stacked on top of each other, and if you can, please rest your head on the ground. If you're finding your neck's really tight, letting it down, you can even bring a little pillow over. Nice and slow. I want you to keep your fingertips touching the ground and your knees squeezed together. Walk in your hand all the way over. There's going to be that sticky point, and if your arm starts to come up, that is fine. It's a progression. It doesn't have to look like mine. I promise I've been practicing my mobility. Nice and slow. Big circle. Nice and slow. Oh, that's the sticky point. And then bringing our hands back together. Whew. Give yourself a time to just let your body feel it. Let your shoulders get a little bit looser. And now intentionally make that circle bigger. Keep those fingertips on the ground best you can. Straight arm, but not locked. Big circle, opening up, yes. And nice and slow, bringing that arm all the way back where we got it. I like 3. The Bible likes number 3, so we're going to do one more. Big breath in. Reach it up, big circle. Open it up through the chest. And nice and slow, bringing it back home. And again, if yours takes more time, pause the video. Take the time to do it. There is no rush in movement. That's such a misconception about working out that it needs to be hard. But the harder we work out, often more prone to injury. And I want to teach you to walk before you run. And let's be honest, you don't really have to run. Nice and slow. Hands stacked on top of each other. Maintain the knees squeezed together. And big breath in. Open up through the chest. Big circle. Arms open. And nice and slow, bring it home. Thanks, Mama. Good, 2 more. And again, if it's slower, don't worry about it. If your hand raises up from the ground, don't worry about it. Self-compassion and grace. You're here moving. I am super stoked on that. Nice and slow, bringing that arm all the way back. Reach. Whew. All right, final one. Breathing in, fingertips touching, reach it. And bringing it home. All right, so we are gonna now do a little bit of a bear crawl. So this is gonna teach us to really push our shoulders into our brace points and to maintain our core brace. So whenever we're keeping our chest posture high, we still need to connect to here. We don't want our rib cage expanding because we don't want to put the pressure on the low back. The first week we really practiced our pelvic tilt. So we are holding our posture here. You might find at the beginning that in order to tuck your pelvis, your shoulders are going to round forward. But now we are strengthening the back, opening our pecs to let our shoulders also be open and back into a nice, proper, erect posture. All right, so going through the bear crawl. We're just going to go across the mat, and then we're going to come back. So, tabletop position. When we walk and when we run, we are quite cross the body beings. So, we are going to use opposite arm, opposite leg. Ugh. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Ugh. Nice and slow. Grip from your fingers as well. There's so many little muscles in our little phalanges and our metacarpals, but we don't utilize them. We put the pressure on our joints and our wrists. Keep your back nice and tight. Awesome. We're going to turn around and bring it back. Whew. So again, tabletop position. Opposite arm, opposite leg. The whole of your body is staying as one. So we're not sassy bearing. Nice and slow. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Walking together. Walking together. Walking together. Walking together. Nice. All the way till we just get off the edge of our mat. Last step. Very good. Very good. So we're going to move back to a mobility movement, and then we're going to go back to that bear crawl again. So we're going to get into our lats. You might get me from the rear, which is fine. We're going to stretch in through our lats and our triceps. So a couple options. I like to do the prayer stretch along a chair or a bench, but this space does have a little ridge on the wall, and you can put your hands flat on the wall if your wall doesn't have a ridge. Or if you have a big kitchen table, you can use the edge as well. So I'm going to need you to bring your hands, palms open, and we are going to shift our hips back. So it's not a squat. We are reaching our hips back so we can allow ourselves to stretch in through the armpits. Let your head sink in between your arms. And then nice and slow rising up. So you should feel the elongated line all the way to the side. You might get more tricep as well. I'm going to do one more here, and then I'm going to show you the movement off of the chair. Breathing in, hips back. Letting yourself sink on through the arms. And feel that stretch along your armpits, back of the shoulders. Nice and slow, rising back up. And you can sink back down. If along the wall, chair, table is working for you, then great. This is another one that we can do, and I really, really like this one because it just builds on what we just did along the wall. So, prayer hands. I like to intertwine my fingers. If you want your prayer hands to look like the emoji, you put those fingers up. So knees quite wide. You're going to stick your hips back, and you want a space where your elbows are just on the edge of the bench or the chair. This way you can push into them and elongate the stretch on the back. From here, we're going to bend at the elbow and sink down even more. So notice how my back is quite straight. I'm even sinking down a little bit farther than the straight line. That's what we want. We want to try and eliminate this, and we want to try and sink down nice and low to get to about here. And again, as long as you're getting a stretch on the tricep into the lat, that is what we're aiming for. Look isn't as important. It's just like seeing isn't just believing. We need to feel the experience. So if you're experiencing a stretch in the tricep and in your lat, you are there. Don't overthink it from there just because it doesn't look exactly like mine. Again, our eyes do distort so many things, and we are going by feel and experience. So if your intention lines up with what I'm telling you the intention is, you are there. I'm gonna do one more. On your own space, you should do about 5 when it comes to either, again, on the wall. If you want to do a progression of both, that's totally fine. See which one you kind of get more stretch out of. And nice and slow, bringing yourself back up. All right, bear crawl time again. Let's do it. So if you're feeling a lot in your quads, often it's because you're putting too much weight on your feet and not enough on your hands. Or your knees can be coming too far forward, so it's shortening up this line of the leg. So try and keep your knees nice and aligned with the hips. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Yeah, keep it going. 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 Awesome. Freestyle, rotate, and coming on back. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Until we're off the mat. Nice job. All right, my OCD's coming in and I'm thinking it's not filming. But it is, so that's great. That's great. All right, next mobility exercise. We did these last week. So these are our chest opening reverse bridges. So, fingertips behind you. You can do this against the wall. I'll show you an option of the wall if your wrists are getting tired. Especially with less equipment, we're spending more time using our hands as our braces, which gets our shoulders going, which gets our arms going, which gets our upper back going. But that's a lot for the wrists if they haven't been used to being in this position. So feel free to do the wall option after I've shown it as well. So, making sure those heels are close to the hips. That's giving you the stability. Fingertips are facing away. The closer your hands are, the more stretch you're going to get. But make sure you're actively able to breathe into the movement. If you take on more stretch than you can breathe through, just like life, you're not going to do it as well. You're not going to feel it where you're going to feel it. And most likely your body's going to be in a survival mentality because it ain't breathing fully. So we are safe. Spend the time nice and slow. On that exhale, we are going to squeeze our glutes, bridging up our hips, let our head come back. Nice. You should feel this front of the shoulders. If your biceps are the tightest point, you might get biceps. On that exhale, nice and slow, bridge it up. Let the shoulders round back, squeezing our glutes up. And bringing ourselves back down. This one always warms me up. I think my heart just expands open and the blood starts flowing. On that exhale, squeeze the glutes, rising up those hips. Let's do another 2. Breathing in. And on that exhale, squeezing the glutes, rising ourselves up. Final one. Notice my breath in to set up. Exhale to exert, to go into the stretch, or to do the hardest action of a lift. So in a push-up, when we're in the bottom of our push-up, our exhale is helping with the exertion of pushing ourselves up. Our breath in is setting our shoulders on the way down. Option on the wall is extending your arm open and then nice and slow twisting yourself away. I believe in dynamic movements and stretches as the best way to open up your body. So a static stretch is just staying in the position. A dynamic is shifting my hip back, activating my glute, pushing my hip forward. There's active movement. It's dynamically moving my body to open it. So with something like this, I'm not just standing here. Although, if you're noticing your breath is having a hard time catching up because there is so much tension, give yourself a little grace to get the breath. Or take a little bit of the stretch away, nice and slow. Okay. I can move a little bit more. Okay, I can move a little bit more. Take the stretch away. Give yourself a little bit of space. And then go back into the next wave. All right? So that's the other option if you don't like the reverse bridge or you're just not at that level yet. That's totally fine. Breathe in and on the exhale, turn it away. I want to open up my chest and shoulder. That is the goal. That's our intention right now. Open chest. Open hearts to the Lord. Strong backs, knowing He's our backup. Well, He's our front up too. But you know what I mean. He's pulling us up. He's helping us rise above anything. All circumstances, He is here. All right. Lovely. Okay, we are going to get into a tricep dip. So working on the back of our arms, but again, this is also a great position. It can be. Any of you that have had bad shoulders, I'm going to give you a tricep push-up option with some regression and progression if this is causing you bad pain, searing pain in the shoulder. So, tricep dip. Body weight exercises are great because, well, we always have our body weight and we can always get stronger, make our body not feel as heavy. So, feet away from us. If you want more weight, you bring your feet away, or you can even bring them up on another chair if we're really feeling strong in the movement. So I'll show you the regression first. So the regression is going to have your feet close, elbows rotated towards each other. Nice and slow. Tricep exercises are 90-degree extension. I'm not locking my elbows. My hyper extending sisters do not lock the joints. Breathe in. It's time to recruit the muscles. On that exhale, squeeze it up from the back of the arm. Breathing in, lowering yourself down. On that exhale, squeezing yourself up from the back of the arm. Next progression is feet out. Breathing in, I got a little bit more weight on my arms. Exhale, extending myself up. Breathing in, lowering myself down. Squeeze from the back of my arms to bring myself up. Next progression, feet up. Breathing in, lowering myself down. Exhale, pushing myself up from the back of the arms. Another 3, 2, last one. Very good. Notice my breathing, flowing with the active motion. That's so important. All right, so if we don't feel comfortable with our arms going back because we have had some trauma in our shoulders and that's a little bit too much of a reach, we're going to do a close grip tricep push-up. We are going to do a couple of these anyways, so you might just get a couple more push-ups in your workout today. So, last session we did wide grip. So that's getting our back into the action. I still want you to think about your back because it's strong and it's meant to support everything we do forward. Instead of the disconnect, we want to squeeze our back. That's our strength, and we're pushing from our angel wings, our protective angel wings. All right, so I'm going to show you from my knees first. Elbows rotated in towards each other. When we go wide, look at the position of my shoulder. I'm scrunched up at my neck. Elbows rotated back. Look how long my neck is. And with our lower abdominal, we do not want this. No time for sass. No time for sass. Tuck it away. Squeeze our glutes, and now I feel my core. Now I get a core workout with every single upper body movement, as well as lower body. So breathing in. I'm lowering myself down. Look at that 90-degree on the elbow. On the exhale, rise up. Breathing in, elbows tight, open up the chest. Exhale, rising up. Breathing in, lowering ourselves down. Exhale, pushing ourselves up. Here is a progression, the negative. From my feet, I'm lowering myself down, knees down to help on the up. Up, lowering myself down, knees down to help myself up. One more of these. Breathing in, knees down, exhale. And then there's the full. Up on the toes, tuck my pelvis, glutes are on. Breathing in, exhale up. Breathing in, exhale up. Another 2, breathing in. I feel the back of my arms, and I also feel my upper back. which is great. Breathing in, exhale up. Nice work. All right, so we're gonna get connected a little bit more to our mid upper back. First, we're gonna roll because the stress of the day, I'm sure, is still right on our upper shoulders and we're holding burdens we don't need to hold. So, keeping our feet close to our hips. And nice and slow, you can use your arms to give your neck a little bit of support. I find I even get myself a little bit better of an arch if I have my neck protected because it's not bobbling around. So up to you if you want to put a little bit more weight on your foam roller and allow yourself to arch back. Our spine is meant to twist, arch, rotate, but we don't allow it to do those things very often. So now we are allowing ourselves. So notice how my butt's down. My hips are supported. I'm not putting unnecessary pressure on my lower back because again, my hips are supporting. And then I'm able to press that arch. Let that exhale be the surrender. And then breathing in, close up the rib cage. I'm going to roll mid-upper back. Try not to go too much lower than the bra strap line. You'll kind of notice, like here, okay, my core is engaged. If I start to arch, okay, I can feel a little in my lower back. That means I've gone down too low. And again, if we're not to a point where we want to put our body weight all the way on our feet in the roller, you don't have to. Nice and slow. Let your back arch. This is great for opening up the chest, taking tension away from our stomach, our digestion, and helping with alignment. We get so stuck here because we're so closed off, and we don't get proper blood flow and breath flow. So allowing our chest to expand, our rib cage to open, we're actually stretching in the lower abdominal as well. So nice and slow, arch and back. If you want, if you're feeling confident, you can allow yourself to roll in that arch position. Communicate with your body. Okay, I'm going to close it up. But now I feel safe enough to open up. I feel secure in my planting, right? Do another 10 seconds of rolling that mid-upper spine. And allowing again, open up. And nice and slow, you can close it down. Beauty. Beauty. All right. So now we're getting to recruit our back. So those angel wings I talked about. We are going to do a ground lat pull down. So I'm going to show you the upper body. So keeping our wrists aligned with our elbows. Elbows rotated forward. We're squeezing in our lats. This is what we want to activate. So if my elbows go back, where's the pressure? It's here. When I scoop, look at that shift. My back is wide. I feel the tension here. So breath in, elbows forward, squeezing on the way down. Breath in, elbows forward, squeezing intentionally in the armpit. All right, so we're going to add our full body to this. Laying on your stomach, arms extended. First things first, our brace points. So again, we practiced that on our dead bug last week. So our brace points are our lats and that lower abdominal. Our glutes, those work together. So, same when we're laying on our stomach, if I'm just laying like here, I'm putting pressure on my low back. When I'm here, my glutes are supporting now. Yes, I am working my spinal erectors, but they are supported by a much larger muscle group, the glutes. All right, so setting up, breathe it in. Set your brace points on your exhale. We are doing that squeeze down. Look, my elbows are aligned with my wrists. This isn't happening, and I feel my lats. Breathing in, full relax. And again, breathing in. Superman, exhale, squeeze in our armpits. Nice long neck. Breathing in, fully relax. And again, glutes on. Armpits. Breathing in and fully relax. Breath in, set it up. Exhale, armpits, glutes. Think about the whole thing, head to toe, and down. We're going to do another 5. So notice that my chin is tucked. So that helps with the alignment of my spine, and my chin is up. Automatically I feel here. Because in order to get that arch of the chin, it needs to take from somewhere more, and it takes from my back. So another 5. Breath in, Superman, and squeeze. In those armpits. Breath in, bringing it back. Keep the resistance and relax. Big breath in. We got 4. Armpits, armpits, armpits. Breathing in. Fully relax. I think we got 3. I always count more just in case. Breathing in. Nice long neck. Notice I'm not shrugged up. Nice long neck. Breathing in. And exhale. Fully relax. 2 more. Breathe in. Superman. Glutes on. Armpits on. Exhale. Wrists and elbows nice and aligned. Feel those armpits. Back of the shoulders. Breathing in. Fully relax. 1 more. 1 more. Big breath in. Up. Exhale. Squeezing in the back. Bringing those arms forward. And relax. Nice job. Nice job. All right, so we are going to go back to our chair dips. Give yourself a little breather. There is a time for some supersets, one movement into the other, but we are learning. And that was exhausting. I had to think about my shoulders. I had to think about my breathing. I had to think about my glutes. I had to think about my elbows. I had to think about my wrists. That is not just a lot mentally, but it is a lot physically to start actively and intentionally creating that mind-muscle connection. So give yourself the rest in between. Again, if you give that central nervous system too many things to decipher, too many things to think about, too many things to do, it shuts down and it doesn't do things optimally. Breath in. Notice if your breath's up at the chest, that's fine. We exerted ourselves. Now let's bring it back home. Into our belly. Again, this is a peaceful space. You're allowed to expand your stomach. Expand the stomach. We don't just suck in all the time. Get it out. Get it out. If you are alone and you have space to, honestly roar, please do. It's very, very clearing. Breathe it into my low belly. Fill myself up.